Number 2.
Praise and production.
So the first red flag from the last video, talking about roommate stuff and also just kind of how to filter people in your life, Danger. Red flag. We do not stay near danger. We leave. We get away from it. We move away from danger, right? I don't know why I got all super deep with that one. I don't know. Very low. It's because we're talking about danger. Very serious danger in a world of danger. I'm kidding. So, second one. The second red flag, we're coming down from, what would be considered a top priority of no, is danger. Up underneath that, I would say if you sense or feel like someone is selfish at a significant level, everybody has their humanity to deal with. I'm married to, someone I love very dearly, who's a wonderful person. She can be very selfish. I can be very selfish, right? So there's a certain level that's just a human being not thinking of others at a particular moment. It just happens, right? But the reason why we are married and we, love each other and we're so close, why our relationship is great in the great moments, is because neither one of us are selfish in nature in terms of like overall, not identified with an issue of selfishness. And actually, we've been married long enough where we've gone through periods where I hit levels of selfishness that were unreasonable and inconsiderate and very significant. And it was a very big deal. The same has happened with her. Like, we've gone through a situation where, she made some very selfish, choices with words and behaviors and stuff like that. Hit me hard, right? We had to go through that stuff. But as a person, I don't consider her to be a selfish person. She doesn't consider me to be selfish. It's hard to live with somebody who's selfish because you feel them always looking out for themselves. And, self-centered is similar, but selfish is, I would say, is a higher level of, that kind of thoughtlessness because, or intentionality, because, a self-centered person, can be so without like ill intent, but selfish includes ill intent. You know what I mean? Y'all about to eat breakfast and they grab the last of your eggs because they don't have any. That's selfish. They know they're yours and they eat them anyways. That's not cool, right? Now you ain't got no eggs for breakfast, right? So selfishness, right? Are they unreasonable? Are they open to what you would consider to be a basic level of reasoning? And you got to be respectful of the fact that what constitutes reasonable can be different for different people, but we're talking about cohabitating. Don't leave food out on the table, once you leave the table, because that can bring bugs and it's gross, right? Some people might have grown up in a home where that ain't a big deal. I used to do that when I was younger, and moms would get on me like, this is over the line. So I learned better. Everybody might not have grown up with somebody who taught them, not to do that. And so then they might move in with a roommate and then they got ants and roaches everywhere because they got food out all the time. It's gross. So nobody want to live worrying about bugs. Ew, right? Are they unreasonable? Are they inconsiderate? I have a friend who has a friend who is incredibly inconsiderate, and I don't understand why my friend continues to be friends with this person. Right? I mean, stuff like they will plan an occasion And my friend will get ready, anticipate, make the plan, get all dressed, right? My friend is female, so, she'll get all gussied up, looking amazing, right? And then her friend, this other lady, will just not. No call, nothing. They'll just go do something else. Now, what I said to my friend who talked to me about this, did they forget or did they remember, just not care? My friend said, no, they knew. They just didn't care. Okay, why do you think that? Are you assuming, or did something happen where you know for sure that they were just like, oh, I'm supposed to hang out with so-and-so, right? Was it a conscious thought or not? My friend, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so what do? Communicate. Right? Communicate. Yo, I was very much looking forward to the occasion. I was very much, willing to put in the effort. I locked my schedule. I got dressed up, did all the things, and I was looking forward to it. I was waiting to contact you so we could go do the thing, right? In this particular occasion, the inconsiderate friend, she was supposed to come scoop up my friend. She's supposed to come get her, and then the two of them were going to go somewhere. So my friend talked to her friend, and the two of them talked about that occasion, and my friend learned that this other person doesn't think like that. She didn't think I'm supposed to go hang out. She just forgot. She didn't write it down. She did, right? So then, that's what the person said, right? So then my friend tells that to me. And I said, didn't you call and text and stuff? My friend says, yeah, I did. Okay. Well, if the person forgot, they will see the test message. Right? My friend says, I brought that up. What did the other person say? They say they didn't see it. I don't know. Right? That's a toughie. Well, that happened several times. Right? What do you think? Need you right below. Tell me what you think. I try not to assume. I try not to. In the previous video, I said, don't assume ill intent. But all right. So, are you dealing with an inconsiderate person? You communicate, try and talk through it, give feedback. This is how that makes me feel. This is how that affects me. Doesn't feel good, right? See how they respond. See if the pattern, do they correct their behavior? Do they try to improve? That's a big deal. That shows you somebody's heart. If they try. Succeed or not, do you see effort? Do you hear effort, right? Or do you hear, oh, sure, yeah, I'll totally be considerate, right? If it's the same way every time, changed behavior is what you're looking for. You also have to remember you're equals. You're not that person's parent. They don't have to do anything they don't want to do, right? So you can't be in a place of judgment, but you're trying to figure out, can we cohabitate or not? Right? So are they unreasonable? And, are they selfish, unreasonable, and inconsiderate with things that you consider to be important? Serious concerns of yours, like food on the table that could bring bugs, for example. Locking the door when they leave. I had a friend in college who lived with someone who didn't lock the door. That person is from a country in Europe, very safe. Never locked their doors their whole life. All right. Is it wrong? No, it's not. It's a choice. Is it foolish for people like us? I'm assuming you're like me, where you came from a place where people be robbing. Right? I think when I was young, there wasn't as much door locking as when I probably hit middle school. You know, I remember the security system going in and, Pop doing that and the everything, right? And I remember, as a matter of fact, when I was in elementary school, I had the key. You know what I'm saying? The times where I had to come home, be by, I think that was probably more like towards the end of elementary and middle school, because my mom wouldn't have had me be home by myself if I was a little kid. My mom wasn't irresponsible like that. So I'm assuming maybe the key was probably middle school maybe, but I'd have to have the key because the door would be locked. So locked doors, right? But my friend's roommate was from a place they didn't do that. So her roommate wasn't leaving saying, I don't want to lock the door, that, or blank that. Whoops. I hope I catch that. Whoops. Sorry, Mom. All right. Right? So it wasn't a conscious decision. Don't assume ill intent. And, they had a lot of conversations, and the roommate eventually kind of started getting frustrated with the conversation because it was something that was a habit that they didn't see the need for it to be a big deal, right? They did not live in this place. Well, eventually someone came in and stole their stuff, right? So now you have someone who's just learned a very important life lesson. If you don't lock your door, people will steal your stuff. Because one of the things that, people who are in the taking path of life, that want to steal, they'll just go up to a door and check to see if it's open. All of them ain't breaking windows and stuff. So you should always lock your car doors. Some people would just drive up, pull the door handle, and if it opens, they'll look around, take stuff. But it's just simply because it was locked. And if it was locked, they move on. Simple, right? So now the European roommate has learned that's why you lock your door, right? Because around these parts, people be stealing, right? So now this person has gone through a trauma, an invasion of privacy and loss, because they stole some of her stuff too. And my friend, her roommate and friend, is now yelling at her. This is your fault. I told you, right? So for those of you who have hard hearts, you feel like that's what she get? Okay. But I'm friends with both of them. This was a very traumatic situation for the friend. She didn't know any better. She heard and she tried to remember. She just didn't think about it. She's thinking, I got to get to class or I got to go to work or whatever. Right? And she just leaves. Difference would be, I know you saying I should do that. I don't care. Right? That's over the line. However, that situation kind of shows why it's important to go into the situation. Like I said in the last video with number 1, going expecting to learn how to be a better person. How to be a better person. You should lock your doors when you come home and when you leave. You should lock the door because some people suck and they will steal from you. Sometimes it'll be your friends. I had a position at a ministry where, someone at the ministry who knew I just convinced the ministry to upgrade their sound system. They bought a new drum set, had mics, a new mixing board. Like I convinced them to invest to get this stuff. And someone who I believe it was the child of a person that worked there who was a part of the ministry. I think they grabbed their parents' key because their parent worked there. Grabbed their parents' key and they came in because there's no forced sign of entry. Either that, or it's also very possible somebody didn't lock the door. But they came in, took that stuff, and was gone. There it is, right? So, are they being inconsiderate? Are they being selfish? Next one is, are they willing or unwilling to seek and find compromise? Are they interested or uninterested and unwilling to work at least a little bit towards peace, to work stuff out, to find a middle ground that works for the both of you and not just for you or not just for them, right? When you're expressing a concern, how receptive are they to the fact that this isn't something they care about, but it's something you care about? How receptive are they to that? I keep doing this because this is a target that I don't think about looking at. But so I look at my own face, which is over there. Hard to do. Maybe I should have put like a piece of paper or something over it. I don't know. Anyways. That's it. The last one is, is someone disrespectful, like at a level that you can't cohabitate with? Is somebody disrespectful and inconsiderate at a level that you have to struggle to find peace? You know what I mean? Those are red flags. And in life, if you're dealing with someone who represents any of this stuff, you have to choose. Are you willing to sacrifice feeling respected in order to give this person space in your life? I'm hoping the answer is no, because I don't think you want to live like that. Are you interested in trying to figure out life things with someone who is selfish? I wouldn't. Not, as a character trait. Everybody has areas. Everybody has areas where they have ego issues or where they have, where they struggle to share or whatever. That's a human thing. But it shouldn't be a significant deterrent to peace on a regular basis. Right? Everybody wants stuff, but some people are willing to steal because they want stuff. That's different. You know what I mean? Wanting this thing is fine. But if you'll take from me something that you didn't earn, meaning I have less because you want more, that's a heart issue. Of course, there's, conversations of desperate decision making, but I would argue that if someone will hurt you because of their desperation, you still don't need to be around them. Especially if after one occasion, you don't get an indication that they're going to try to do better. Very important, right? So those are, that's my advice. Feel free to hit me up if you have like questions on it, because I told you I had the conversation with the loved one, and it just kind of got me thinking about how I was blessed to go through life to this point now where I was mentioning before, I never lived with someone that I didn't have some kind of connection with. So after the place, I lived with a friend, me and one of the people that lived in that place, we had been roommates for a couple months for a little while. I knew him a little bit. He knew me a little bit. And we didn't have reservations about being able to continue cohabitating because we knew each other. We were on good terms, right? It was a great thing. So we got a place together. Then another friend of mine moved out. Now it was the three of us. And then I got married. And now I'm married. So I've never had this kind of situation, but I have been very close with many, 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 many people that have gone through all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? I got a friend who's had the same roommate since college. It's over 20 years, right? It's a long time. I think there's 20. Yeah. Right? Man, college was 20. I feel these grays, baby. I feel these grays. But this person's had the same roommate since college. They got roomed up together in freshman or sophomore year. I can't remember. But it was the first roommate, and they had other roommates. But then the two of them continued to be roommates through graduation, and then they moved together, and they are the best of friends, and they've been roommates for a very long time. The only exception was one of them had a relationship, moved out for a little bit, didn't work out, came back. Now they're living life together, close friends. They got a good thing going. They know how to respect each other. It's great, But I've had plenty of examples of the contrary, where someone, is literally talking to me like on the verge of losing it because they can't come home to peace because of another person's mess. I had a friend who moved to Texas, I think, for a job. No family there, right? Not knowing what the living situation would be, other than that they would make enough money to get a place, right? So they go there, they're trying to find a place, they meet somebody, and they find out that person is a hoarder after they moved in. Like bad, not this is a problem, like nightmare. Stuff everywhere. He sent me pictures. It's crazy, right? Not a mean person or whatever, but troubled to the point of hoarding, garbage. Like not even like new clean stuff, but they would hold on to soda, like the I think they're called 2 liters, the 2 liter soda bottle, big joints, big old stack of them, crazy stuff. So just wanted to share some things I think could be helpful. And so in a dorm situation, obviously, if you got the red flags happening and you do your best to respectfully communicate, you got to put in that effort first. You don't want to push buttons. And I think I said push before. I didn't mean push. I meant have the conversation until you reach a point where you sense danger. If you sense danger, we move away from danger. We flee from danger, right? Obviously, if it's extreme danger, you defend yourself and then you get away as best you can, right? But you get away as soon as possible. So if you're in a dorm situation, it's time to talk to the RA. It's time to talk to whoever has the authority to remove that person from that room, all right? And if you find no success with that, it's time to talk to whomever is helping you get through school. If nobody's helping you get through school, you need to find another place to live. If you sense danger, if they are significantly selfish, unreasonable, and considerate about serious things, if they are unwilling to work towards compromise, if they're uninterested in maintaining peace and cohabitating, or any other form of significant disrespect or being inconsiderate. Gotta go. But have the conversation first. Give the person the opportunity to understand. Give them the opportunity to be considerate, because a lot of times people will, because it's a pain in the butt to have to go through moving out, especially if they don't have a choice, right? If you have any ability and if you have the ability to make the choice, you sign the lease. If you're moving into a situation where somebody else is on lease, understand they can kick you out. And if you don't want to live with them, you should go, because it's their place, right? But if you can sign the lease, then you can legally have somebody removed, right? But if you're in a dorm situation, you're equals. You got to talk to whoever has authority, explain, I don't feel safe, or this person is very inconsiderate. It's significant enough where I won't be able to focus on school. Whatever the case might be, explain what's going on. You know what I mean? And if they don't work it out, I would say either escalate it or you move out. So sharing, hope it helps. Please send this to, anybody that you think it might help. Anybody going to school, next, or starting school in the summer. Some people go straight from high school into college in the summer. I wanted a break. Share it with people that are graduating college, that are about to move into adulthoodismness. Share it with them. Maybe it'll help out. All right. Love y'all. Peace, 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 peace.
If it's my time, then it's my time. Worry about yours, 'cause I got mine. 'Cause I got mine. Worry about yours, 'cause I got mine. 'Cause I got mine. Praise and production.